It's really nice to meet you, Mr.
Nice to
Spielberg.
meet you.
The first question is, why Tintin?
Well, why not Tintin? He's one of the greatest, most enduring characters, in the world today. He's been well known since 1929. Kids have grown up with him. And the 24 volumes that Hergé wrote are all adventure stories, and I love adventure stories. And so for me, this was one of the greatest adventures I've ever personally been on as a filmmaker.
And what is so special about the unicorn story? Because as we all know, the first comic book was about Soviet Union, Tintin and Soviet Union. Why didn't you pick the very first one for the first movie?
Well, because I wanted to first of all introduce Captain Haddock to Tintin for the first time. So with the kind permission of the Hergé estate, we were allowed to use the Crab with the Golden Claws just to be able to introduce the two iconic characters together. But for a rip-roaring, rousing, funny, and I think also kind of emotional adventure, I always thought The Secret of the Unicorn and a little bit of Red Rackham's Treasure were two of my favorite volumes.
So, are you planning to make the Soviet story?
Well, here's what we're planning. If the first film is a success, we'll make a lot of Tintin movies, and we'll get around to the Soviet story.
So, was there any innovative technologies, especially for you, used in this film?
This whole technology is innovative. This is probably the nexus or the highest point digital animated technology, performance capture animation has ever gotten.
And is this a big, is there a difference for you to make a motion picture and a motion capture picture? And is it difficult to make some sort of this movie with only this blue background and nothing?
Well, we don't have a blue background. We just have actually no background because there's no film or even video that's being used. The computer captures the emotions and the facial patterns of the performers, the actors, and what they do with their bodies. And that has to be animated over. So we have animators. There's not a single live action element in the whole film. Animators have to animate over what the actors do. To me and for me, that gives me so much more control of the medium. I was able to do shots I've never been able to do in a live action movie. I was able to work with colors and on a palette that I've never had the control in a live action film. And I was able to even change some of the performances. I was able to either exaggerate performances or make performances more subtle. So in terms of giving a director total control, this medium seduced me.
So you liked it?
I loved it.
While watching the movie, we got some sort of impression that some scenes were created in the movie were created like a fulfillment of long time visions of Indiana Jones movies and these big ones. What do you feel about that?
Well, Indiana Jones is an adventure series. Tintin has already been an adventure series in book form. So I'm simply taking the books and opening up the pages and holding them up, and all the characters are coming to life and the adventures are coming at you in 3D.
Just like Russian, I cannot but ask if there is any Russian story, novel, that you wanted to make a movie of.
A Russian story? The great Russian story that I've always wanted to tell, and maybe I'll tell it someday, is when the Russians got to Berlin in World War II. And I think when they crossed the Elbe and they got into Berlin, that was an amazing, amazing story.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much.
Thank you.